Hey everyone, it's Allison from Happily Homeless's Moonstruck, and it's Sunday here at the Opera Camp, and it's very quiet today. Everybody, all the students, well, a lot of the students and the orchestra, hi Ray, and quite a few of the staff are at the Aaron Center doing, is it Carmen today? Anyways, I can't remember which one, but a lot of them are gone, so the campus is pretty quiet. And I'm just sitting here in my tab and doing a bunch of research today and writing of lists and stuff like that that I'm going to need. And so I thought I would just check in with all of you. Let's see. So the other night was Carmen, and it was at that point I've not been able to actually watch as much of it as I did. It's a 4-hour opera, so it's quite lengthy, and there's 2 intermissions, and I was able to last up until the second intermission. Then I was just too tired, but it was pretty cool, and I think I actually started liking opera when I saw it. It was humorous. They do have English subtitles, so that helped, so I knew specifically what was going on, but you can tell a lot of the emotions just from watching the theatrics of it. And yes, I'm wearing the earrings you made me, Rachel. I wear them a lot, along with the earrings that my friend Kelly sent me. Hi, Judy. So yeah, it was, the characters were fascinating, and I recognized quite a few of the songs that were being sung. The Toreador, however they pronounce it, was one of the ones that I recognized. Dun 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 dun. Hi, Amanda. And so I know a lot of you will recognize that too. And that's taking the place in my head of the other song that I recognized that Carmen sang. But one of the things that I loved about the Carmen character, she's this, a gypsy woman, and she's a flirt, and she's actually a very powerful woman, and she uses her sexuality for her own advancement. And what I really loved about her, though, and I found the young woman who played her, hi Mary Beth, I found the young woman who played her that night, and I told her, man, I want to learn how to move like you do. I mean, her body was just so sinuous, and the glances that she was able to give over her shoulder were just so graceful and so provocative, and it was very powerful, and I loved watching it. And so it was just really cool. I really enjoyed that version. So we only have actually a few more that this week that are going to be performed. I think maybe 3 more operas, and then all the students who are here will start heading home, and a lot of the staff will go, and then for 2 weeks younger kids will come in, and so my job will pretty much stay the same. It'll be a little bit less because I won't need to be helping with concessions and setting up the theater and for performances and stuff like that, but it'll make my mowing easier because we won't have to move cars back and forth over the campus to clear the areas for mowing. So, but my time here is actually going to be winding down. I'll be leaving at the latest August 12th or 13th. It depends how long it takes us to, it'll be me and Terry, I guess, pretty much, who will just be closing up everything, putting it away, storing it until next year. And so then I got this idea the other night after, I guess it was actually when I was watching Carmen, that it inspired me. And I've been inspired by all of this anyways. I mean, the talent here, it's an ocean of talent with the younger people, with the staff. It is oceans of talent in every direction, with costuming, production, directing, music, the maestros, just watching everybody play and practice and sing and everything. Totally inspiring. And so I came out of Carmen the other night, and I thought, you know what this is calling up in me is something that I've kind of tested a little bit over the years, but I've never really played to it. But there's been the whisper of it in me, and it's the actor in me. And I'm a Gemini anyway, so that kind of gives me a heads up in some ways. But and a lot of you know that last year I took the burlesque dance course in Phoenix when I was out in Arizona, and it ended up, the final part of our class was doing a public performance, and my daughter Rachel was there, and my son Alec, and my daughter-in-law Nicole, and a couple of friends and stuff like that. And what I realized when I did that performance was, in spite of the fact that a crucial part of it went wrong when I went out there to do my personal dance, and the screen that was I was supposed to be backlit behind it, the screen fell down in front of me, and I carried right on, and it didn't really it didn't rattle me. I did think, oh fuck, but then I just carried right on. But I realized through all of that, with making my own costume, coming up with character, and a dance routine that my daughter-in-law Nicole helped me with, what it made me realize was that this all feels kind of natural to me, and I really like it. And so I was remembering back to that the other night after watching Carmen, and all along the way of my Odyssey of Love, I have thought, I've had different ideas that are kind of, individual ideas that are out there, and I've not known how to bring them all together. And I've always framed doing my story of my Odyssey of Love as a presentation, spoken presentation with some slides and stuff like that, some to perk it up a little bit. But now what I think, hi Bev, now what I know what I want to do, and it's because I've been here in spite of all the freaking bugs and just all of the stuff that's been here. This is exactly the place that I've needed to be this summer, to meet the people that I have needed to meet, to inspire me and also give me some practical help. And I have decided to frame the story of my Odyssey of Love in performance art. And so what that means is how that translates for me. Hi, Donna. Oh, thank you. She says you're such an inspiration. Well, just wait. I'm reframing the story, how to do the story of my Odyssey of Love. I am going to I am already in the process of creating. Hi, Katie. Audrey is waving to you. Oh, good. That's her little one. I'm waving back. It's going to be a one-woman show. And I have this whole vision. And it came together for me just 3 days ago that, wait a minute, this is what I want to do. And so I have been talking to people who are directors and God, what are all the titles? Stage managers, tech writers. I mean, everybody who's involved in a production, right? Hi, Tracy. And people who are names, who know their shit. People who are college professors and writers of musicals and all of this stuff. And so I've run my vision past them. And one of the guys here, one of the instructors, he said, Allison, you're already, hi Kelly and Stacy. He said, Allison, you are already like 70% of the way, 75% of the way there. You have this vision, and now it's just the logistical stuff. And so he was inspiring. He inspired me. And another one of the young men that I talked to who is so cool, his name is Davis. He's been a wonderful young man. He's 19 years old, but he has a very wise heart. And so he was saying, okay, well, these are the venues that you want to hit, Atlanta and Austin and Dallas, for presenting this. And then my friend Alex, who's a sergeant who interviewed me way back at Biloxi, Mississippi, and she stopped by the other day on a road trip with her friend Taylor, and Alex is out of the Air Force now. She knows, she's familiar with the Air Force and the monies that are available and where to go so that I can for figuring out where to present a show. And then last night I had a meeting with Jay, who she makes all of the props, and she teaches at college in Florida, and stage management, stage setup. I mean, there's so many different titles. I honestly can't keep them straight. But she volunteered her time, and we talked for probably 3 hours, if not a little bit, probably about 3, because it was during the show Susanna last night. And she was a wealth of information, helping me understand. I showed her the slideshow that I'd used to do my presentation in New Jersey, and I got to tell you, I mean, she just showed me, okay, this is a strong part, this not so strong, that you would need to change this, you can do this. She said, this is what you would need to do to produce a program, to create a show. These are the people that you would contact. This is how to contact them. This is the department you go to. If you want to get a video made, which I need a video made of my my Odyssey, right, with my trailer, like a short is what I need. And so she told me where I can find somebody to do that, a student in a college, and she volunteered to be my tech writer, which I didn't even know that term before, and now I know that term, and she just shared so much of her knowledge with me, and it made such a difference. Everything that I have been doing for these 4 years, there's all of these pieces of the puzzle that have all been created separately with the people I meet, with where I am at any point, with the experiences I've had. And I think that it is going to come together, because things have started clicking into place, and I have the practical, the actual people now who can show me the part, teach me the part that I don't know, and they're willing to lend their time to me to help me with this. And so I've started writing the script. I know the props. I know how to do the props. I know how to get them. It's going to be called This Odyssey of Love, Love, Grief, and Magic on the Open Road. It's a one-woman show. One of my primary props is going to be a life-size cutout of Chuck. I want to find the perfect picture, the idea that I have in mind, but I think he's sitting down when I took it. He's wearing a black shirt and he has his aviator glasses on. And I used to tease him that he was my bodyguard, because Chuck was always happy to kind of be behind the scenes and have me the one being out front and colorful, like I said the other day. And so I'm going to find a picture of him and get a cardboard cutout made of him, and he's going to stand just slightly, that cardboard cutout will be standing just slightly behind me and to my side, and which is where he oftentimes stood. And that will be there throughout the show. The light will shine on him just enough to show him, and I'm going to, it will start out, this is all work in progress, but the way it's going to start out is me dressed all in black, a bodysuit, and it'll be enough to cover, like maybe a pair of skin-tight leggings and then a top. And I'll be barefoot, because what I want to portray is the nakedness of this grief, and what grief does, and how it exposes you, the vulnerability. And the spotlight will be only on my hands and a piece of paper that I'm reading. And on that paper, what I'll be reading is the piece that I wrote a few years ago called The Death Valley Dance. And it will progress from there as I reveal, I suppose, at the end, the fucking warrior goddess in full color. And there will be a lot and maybe some short vignettes to tell the story of my Odyssey of Love, with pictures and music to accompany it, projections on the back. So what I've been doing today to get all of that going, and I know this can sell. I've always known it can sell. I know I can get it out there and get it done. So what I've been doing today is looking up the names of famous people, or people of some renown anyways, who have been widowed, who might be interested in helping me produce this. And I'm looking at musicians who have written music that has inspired me as I've traveled this Odyssey of Love, and I'm going to contact them to see if they would like to invest in this. What my mom told me many, many years ago, what I've remembered more than anything she ever said, is always give people the opportunity to say yes. And that's what I'm going to do, because I think we get stuck with, oh, but their names, and they're busy, and they're this, and they're that, and they would never respond, and all this stuff. You know what? Maybe they won't, but maybe they will. And I am going to craft a beautiful message to them, whether, I don't know if I'll send it in email or a hard copy. And I'm going to send it to them. And I'm going to ask for their help. And but with or without it, and I'm assuming that one way or the other it's with it, I am going to produce this show. I am going to create this wonderful show about my Odyssey of Love, a one-woman show that I'm going to take on the road, and I'm going to present to all kinds of audiences, because it goes to every level. It goes to, with my military connections, because it's about my love for a veteran and his love for me. Men and women all over, because it's a love story, and whether it's people who have never had a love story and wish they did or want to, and so they're inspired by it, or those who had a love story and don't have it anymore because they're widowed like me. Strong men and strong women. Widows and widowers. Hospice people. Nursing students. I mean, what's the limit, right? There is no limit. So, what I need, let me see, so I've been told I need to get a good projector, and I need to get some investors, because this isn't a huge, there's not going to be a lot of props. I mean, I'm going to start out with doing a lot by projection and just a few props. But I will be traveling to different places, and I need to have somebody who is interested in making a short for me about my Odyssey of Love that I can present on video. So those are my immediate needs, and I'm working diligently in the time that I have left here at the opera camp. And my book, I'm ready to do it. It's done. It's ready to publish, but I'm having difficulty uploading it to Amazon so that it shows well on like Kindle and the different devices that it would be read on, because the pictures and the text gets all over the place. So I found a company, KDP Publishing, that I bought their program quite a few months ago. So that program's supposed to make it easier and address those problems. But I'm still struggling with it, and I haven't been able to find somebody who can kind of just snap their fingers and say, oh, this is it. And I've worked with the people who, the developers, and they've kind of helped me as far as they can, and I don't know what the fuck else to do at this point, but I work on it every chance I can to get that part figured out. So my book will be Love, Grief, and the Fuck of Widowhood will be available as soon as I can get the logistics of that figured out. So, So bits and pieces of all of those things are going on today, and I always keep a piece of a notebook and a pen nearby so that I can write down all the ideas that are zooming as fast as anything, like arrows into my head, so that I can write them down so that I don't forget it. And just puzzle pieces. I've created this puzzle as I've traveled this Odyssey of Love. I've created different pieces around the country, and I've just not been able to connect them. I know what I want to do with them. I've always had the vision, but now I have found the people who can actually help me bring it to fruition, and that's a huge, huge part of it. So, in the meanwhile, I'm going to be heading out to Arizona and be there by the fall. So, if any of you know of any jobs, any work camping situations, if you know, I don't know whether I'm going to live in my trailer. I mean, that kind of depends on the weather when I get there, because I don't have air conditioning. If you know of studio apartments to rent for cheap, or somebody that I can crash with, I need to find some kind of a job out there, one way or the other, to bring in some money until all of this stuff gets going. But if any of you have any ideas on, not even just ideas, I have a lot of ideas. I need some real hard suggestions about some real practical stuff for, where to live and stuff like that. So, anyways, just letting all of you know what's going on with all of that. I mean, it's 10 million things. It really is. And I'm, by God, going to do this one. I am going to do this because there's a way to do it, and I know that now. So, clearly, a day off for me makes my brain, when I'm not occupied in the physical labor, clearly my brain starts whirling like a, God, it's faster than a hamster's wheel. It's bigger than a windmill, but it's going. Let's see. Can I apply for an arts grant? I might be able to. I have no idea. I guess I could just Google that. If any of you have any knowledge on that, arts grants, I know they're kind of hard to get, but sounds like, it's something that I could use. Like, people to give me money so that I can support myself while I'm developing this project. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? So if any of you have any information on that, I'll certainly research it myself. And if any of you have any further information, then you can shoot me a text or a message and let me know that. But yeah, I'm going to absolutely do it. And that's one of the things Kelly was just saying, is the ability to, one of the gifts I have is the ability to open up and talk with others. And that's one of the things that I've been told numerous times as I've traveled this Odyssey, and I've spoken extemporaneously to big crowds and small crowds. I mean, Rachel, remember when we were at the Golden Gate and we stopped at that park and we went to, I don't know, either look at it from a distance or went to the restrooms or something, and we came back and there's this crowd of tourists around my trailer. There's the Golden Gate Bridge, but here's Pink Magic. And I don't know, there's 15, 20 people, something like that. And so I ended up speaking extemporaneously to them, and I'm very, very comfortable with that. And Tracy, when I did the interview on Pink Flamingo RV Radio the other day, he and I always talk a little bit ahead of time, and then we talked for probably, 20 minutes, half an hour after my interview the other day, just about some commonalities we have and stuff, and traveling and all that. And he told me too, he said, I'm a very good, I deliver my, that I speak well, I engage with people. So, thanks, Tracy. I will check that out. And I'm very comfortable in front of crowds, whether it be speaking, whether it be performing to some degree. I'm not talking about becoming an actor and memorizing shit. I don't have the brain power. I might have the brain power. I don't have the will to do that. But something like this, where it's my story, I mean, I know my story. Who knows it better than I? Like all of you know your stories. And the thing is, what I do know is that the life that Chuck and I had, and more importantly than the life, which was just a normal life, but the love that Chuck and I had and the love story that we had was so huge, just so powerful. And the grief and the loneliness that comes afterwards without him is as powerful, and demands that I live a life that at least equals what he and I had with our love story. It requires big living, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it all in pink and glitter and sparkle on the stage. So that's my plan. Just go out and live as largely as possible. Oh, thank you, Tracy, for the compliment. I appreciate that. I'm going to make this happen. And practically speaking, it's already, it's in the early stages. I have no idea how long it takes for something like this. I have no idea. I mean, I suppose maybe an idea, even once you develop it, it's still always being tweaked and, changed a little bit here and there. And, I can tweak it to different audiences, different parts of it to different audiences. So what I do know is that I have complete confidence and no fear about doing something like this. This is right up my alley, and everybody who knows me would know that. So I'm just going to go out and do it. So if any of you have any questions regarding any of this, and make sure if you share that video around, if you will. The interview that I did with Pink Flamingo RV Radio, that's on my Happily Homeless page. Another thing that I want to do is I need to get sponsored by people to help with my travels, because it's just, I want to be able to focus on a lot of these things. And one of the things is that my car, which it's a Ford Escape, it's 2013, it has over 100,000 miles now. What I want to do is get a truck, a 6-cylinder truck, and have it painted in my particular shade of pink, of course. And I can't afford a truck. I can't afford a new car at all. And which, and I'm not saying that for pity purposes at all. What I'm talking about is practically and business-wise. What I would like to do is be sponsored by Ford. I would like to have them sponsor me a truck, paint it in my shade of pink, Chuck's watching over me, and hitch it to my Tab Teardrop trailer. And everybody along the way, they always say, well, what kind of tow vehicle do you have? What do you use to tow that beautiful trailer? And I tell them it's a Ford Escape. And so people ask this shit. And can you imagine, here's the deal, Ford. Listen in on this one. You have something ready-made here. I'm telling all of you this, but I'm talking to Ford. There is something ready-made here with my story. It's military related. It's a story of love. It's a story of a woman alone on the road, and more women are buying trailers and going out on the road again. And I know this because in my group, Road Widows, Road Warriors, there are 185 women waiting to join, and we already have 300. They are all widows. They all have RVs or trailers. They're looking at tow vehicles. They're looking at my story. I have a huge community of widows and widowers around the country who are following my story. I have my community of people back east in New Jersey. I have my Second First family from Christina Rasmussen's book. There's a military community that I've connected with. Hi, Lisa. There's a shitload of people watching me. And they're watching me for my story, and I'm out there. My story is represented by all of this pink. So picture this, people. Tell me what you think of this. This is you, not Ford, but Ford also, I guess. A pink truck, pink Ford truck, towing this beautiful Tab trailer, also done in pink, with my story, going around, hi Lisa, going around the country. Remember that Folgers commercial, was it in the 90s, where it was like this continuing story where a couple met over coffee, and then we saw their relationship develop, and it was all over this cup of coffee. And each commercial, it was a cereal commercial, I think they called it, serialization or something. Picture my rig going all around the country to these national landmarks, national treasures, Mount Rushmore, I don't know, Washington, D.C. I'm here in the Ozarks. There's all of these amazing places all around the country. And they could take pictures and do a commercial of all of these places about how tough Ford trucks are. And it's being driven by this tough, kick-ass widow who is traveling around the country with already over 100,000 miles under her belt, 8 times around the country, creating this whole new life, living the legacy of love left by her veteran husband. Hi, Jackie. So you tell me if that would not be some kick-ass series of commercials, and why Ford should not sponsor me, and actually why Tab Teardrop Trailers should not sponsor me either, because they would do a shitload of good by it, because the numbers of times I have given people tours of the inside of my trailer and talked to them about Tab trailers and how this is the perfect size for not only beginners but for women who are alone on the road. and going out and never having done any of it before, and this moves with my car, and it's got everything. We all know that, right? So if any of you have any kind of connections, hi Marcy. Oh, see, okay, I can help you write up business proposal letters for both Ford and Tab. All right, Marcy. Any of you who have any connections with any of these, any company that you can think of who could sponsor me in whatever way, then let me know. Help me with connections. That's what I need right now. I need connections. I need to get sponsored. I want to stay on the road. I want to make this so huge that it is just going to, this color pink is just going to burst like fireworks over the entire country. And for the little bit of, renown, so to speak, or celebrity, or not even that, recognition, I would call it, that I have now, it's going to go so much bigger. It has everything in this story. It has everything. Katie says, my brother works for Ford. You know what? If you can get me some information about how to get to the top, to contact, who to contact, Katie, rather than starting, and it could even be a local Ford dealership. I don't even really have to go corporate wide, though they'd be smart if they would do that for me. Ford would. But even a local dealer who would be interested in sponsoring me with a truck. Let's see, Marta, I'm reading the comments here, sorry. And paying attention to all of them. So I guess really what this has ended up being, this live feed, is I need to build a team. And I have a team. I have all of you out there. But I need to organize this team. And I need to get the fire lit. And I want to go out and and create this one-woman show. So I need investors. And I need to be able to stay on the road without fear of breaking down in a car that has over 100,000 miles. And I need something larger and stronger, if you know what I mean. And I don't even mean physically, a 6-cylinder, yes, but I mean something that is more suited to what this is all about. And Ford tough, right? I'm the woman to represent them. So let's, yeah, I know, absolutely, Joan, talking to marketing and PR. And what I'm hoping to, because you're right, and what I'm hoping to get, though, is an actual name, or somebody who that I can write to directly, that somebody already knows, so that there's that in kind of. Because yes, marketing and PR, I wrote to them, I don't know, I think it was last year, I emailed them, and there's like this whole process you have to go through to submit. And what I'm hoping for is to get higher than that, so that it doesn't start at the bottom rung. I need to start at least at the middle rung up, so I could get something done fairly quickly. Hi, Janice. So that's my plan, or I should say that's my goal. I have a plan. I'm working on all of it, and I'm calling on all of you who follow me, who read what I write, who give me so much encouragement and support. Share this video around. Share it as much as you can on all of your Facebook pages and your groups, and let's get this going, right? And nobody can do this. Nobody can do life alone. Nobody can do life alone. And I guess I'm just verbalizing it now. I am verbalizing it. Help me get this all going even bigger than it is, because this has the power to. It's not only, and it's not about God, and you know this. It's, yes, I need to make a living, but bigger than that, wrapped around that, is bringing attention to what life is like. Certainly as we're widowed, what life is like just going through, figuring out how to come through devastation when your life is annihilated. How do you stand back up again? Who stands back up? Who helps you stand back up? Who supports you and encourages you? It's about building community and bringing recognition to, you know what, you can do this shit. Even if you feel like you're as down as you can be and you're curled up in a fetal position and you're sobbing on the floor. I tell the women in the Road Widows, Road Warriors group who are, women who are out there either learning how to tow for the first time like I did and camp, or going out, maybe they were doing this with their husbands, their husbands died and they're trying to find the courage to go out and do it again. I tell all of them, you don't have to wait until you feel better. You don't have to wait until you're not afraid. You don't have to wait for any of your emotions about this shitstorm, this clusterfuck, to change. You pack it all up with you in your trailer, your RV, your camper, your truck, whatever it is you have, and you just go and you get that shit done anyways. And you go out there and you figure it out as you go along. Nobody has this shit figured out. Nobody has life figured out anyways. People may act like they do, but they really don't. They don't have it all figured out. They might have a plan, and then the plan goes south. But all you have to do is just pack it all up, and that's what I do every day. I pack it all up with me, and I make that decision again every morning. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up and do this. I'm going to put on my armor. I'm going to put on, because this is a battle. Somebody, I don't know, a little while back ago, I don't even remember who it was, said, well, you talk about it, in terms of such violence, and battle gear and all of this, and warrior and stuff like that. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what this is. This is not something that calls for gentle, kumbaya shit. This is something that demands, and not in a bad way, not in a negative way and all that negative positive shit. This is something, this life, for me at least, without Chuck, demands that I make that decision when I wake up in the morning and realize, okay, once again, yeah, he's dead, he's gone, this is it, it's all about me, I got to do this, it's on me. That I get up, okay, I'm going to swing my feet over the side of the bed, here in my little trailer, here in the Ozarks, or wherever I am. I'm going to sit up, and then I'm going to go take a shower, I'm going to put on my work clothes, I'm going to open the door to this trailer, I am going to open my heart the minute I open that door to whoever I happen to meet that day, to whatever happens. And I don't know whether it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and be as much love as I can that day. That is my religion. It's only about love. And I make that decision every day because I know that my life depends on my keeping my heart open to those that I meet along the way during my day, and about being open to them and receiving the compassion and empathy and giving that in return, until that's what that vicious cycle becomes. It's love, compassion, empathy, love, compassion, empathy. It's about suiting up and showing up and letting the day unfold. It's about looking down to see where your feet are and being there, which is what Chuck used to say too. So you make that decision every day. So yeah, I've got to make a living, because that's life, right? And I'm going to make a living by doing this. I'm not going to make a living, and I might have to still in the short term, and I will do that, and I've always known, and I told Chuck, I will always do whatever I need to make it happen, to make it work. And I will always do that. I'll go get jobs wherever I need to. But in the meanwhile, what I want to be building and creating is this real life that I need to have that will equal the life that Chuck and I had. And that's a decision that's done every day and made every day. And so I put on my armor, and my armor happens to be pink. It's as pink as it can fucking be. Because what Chuck said to me was, black is not your color, don't mourn for me in black. He said, wear pink. And it's probably the only time in my life that I ever listened to him to such an extent, without question. And so I wear pink. And I surround myself with pink because it's my power and it's my armor. And my car and my trailer, it's my chariot, and it gets me out there into the world. And it takes me mile after mile. And so what I need is to have something more than a Ford Escape. I need a truck. So whether you call it, what do you call it? Oh, manifestation? Whatever word you call it. What I need is for a truck to show up in my life as if I'd blinked my eyes like Jeannie does, or wiggled my nose like Samantha. I need a Ford truck to show up in my life with a trailer hitch on it, and I need it painted my shade of pink, and I need to be able to hitch it up and continue on this odyssey of love, because it's required of me that I do that, and I know it. This is my mission. It is my mission to be a love warrior and to go out there and live the legacy of love, to tell about my love story that I shared with my husband, Chuck Deering, and to do it in whatever way I can, and to be of service to those I meet in whatever way I can, to express the love and to let people know that it's all possible, to let other widows and widowers know that in the midst of all of this, you can still stand back up, and you can allow other people to help you stand back up, and you can let them help you keep standing. And you can also fall down in a fetal position and sob your heart out, and you can still get behind the wheel of a car, a pink car, and drive mile after mile after mile, and let people know that even with all of this, it's all possible. And if I can do that, if I can be an inspiration to anybody out there who just, it's all impossible and it's all unbearable. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It's impossible. It's unbearable. It's wrong. It's everything. Put whatever word on it you want. Put all the words on it. And it's all of that. And I just pack it right in here with all of my craft supplies for making journals and doing whatever I do. And I take it right along with me. The impossibility and the unbearability and the devastation gets right in the car with me. And it's okay. And that is not a negative thing either for anybody who's in the frickin' positivity movement. I don't feel positive about shit. I question every day what I do, how I'm doing it. Well, actually, you know what? That's not true. I don't question it because I don't play that game anymore. I know I'm doing whatever I need to do. I am on a mission. I was told years ago by the woman I met in Northwest Florida. I stopped at a Target store right before I was going to turn left to head west. It was that far up in Florida. And this woman at Target who worked there, I may have told you this already, forgive me if I did. And I was looking in the women's department just to stretch my legs for a few minutes, and she had complimented me on a blouse, a shirt I was wearing. It was pink, I'm sure. And so I just said thank you, and I kind of went about looking, at different stuff. She came over to me again a few minutes later, and she said, "Do you mind if I tell you something?" And I said, "No, of course not. I mean, people tell me so much stuff, right, along the way." So I said, "Of course not." And she said, I'm not usually very open with people about this because, I don't want to, weird them out or freak them out. And I said, "Well, what's that?" And she said, "Well, I see things. And I have an absolutely open mind." So I said, "Oh, okay. Well, what do you see? Is it something about me, or, what is it?" And because that's what her tone of voice inferred. And she said, I really need to tell you." And she put her hand on my arm. People do that a lot when they're approaching me like that. She said, "I really need to let you know, because I don't know if you know." She said, "Are you aware that you are surrounded by angels?" And I said, "No, I don't know. I'm not aware. I don't know. I mean, it's nice, but, I don't know." And she said, "You are surrounded by so many angels that I can't even count them." She said, "I see them." And she said, "You are protected." And I didn't know how to respond to that. I didn't disbelieve her, but you know, it's hard when something is not tangible, right? You know, the human mind. And so I just said thank you. And I said, that feels good to know. Yeah, you know, I mean, it does, whether I can see them or not, whether I really believe it or not, you know, and I don't know. I don't disbelieve it, but she said, it's whatever you're doing, you're going to be all right because you are protected. Now, that does not make me heedless. I still have to use my brain. I have to use my situational awareness, all of that. So I'm not heedless about, you know, just, oh, well, you know, it's like, you know, I'm walking around in a bubble like Bubble Boy on Seinfeld. I am absolutely situationally aware, and I take precautions, but I'm also very open and approachable, and I don't pack a gun, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't do. What I do is I lock my door and I look at my surroundings and I get familiar, and I have different things that I use to be safe. But you know what? If angels are surrounding me and protecting me, then all to the better. And I guess maybe I just always pictured Chuck standing over my shoulder, right to the side of me, just slightly behind, as he did so often in life, pushing me and encouraging me and saying, yes. You know, when he set me on this mission in the days preceding April 21st of 2013, you know, and without formulating everything in his own mind, maybe he did, I don't know, maybe he did formulate it, I don't know. He didn't lay out, say, okay, this is what you got to do. Here's the first step, here's the blueprint. He didn't do any of that. Mostly what I've figured this out, what was in his mind as I've gone along on this odyssey of love. What I do know is that he knew the kind of woman I am, and that I needed a mission. And so he gave me the beginnings of a mission, and he was a smart, intelligent man who loved me and knew I loved him. And so because of what he'd seen me do after my mom and my brother died in 1996, and what I developed and created from that, I know that he knew damn well that I wasn't going to do this in a small way. Not in a small way, because that's not the kind of woman I am. And I've proven him right once again. So now I guess so with all of that, I'm sending out to all of you who are listening and sharing this, and please share this one, because I want this to be so big that everybody sees it and people start reaching out to me to help me. I'm going into the crucial part of this, and I know it. I can feel the energy shifting, and it is all going to come together, and there's going to be this huge puzzle there's so many pieces all put together, and then there's this one middle piece. And the more that this gets shared, and what my mission is and my odyssey of love, that's going to bring the people to me. And I will do all the work. I will do every bit of footwork that I need to do. Like Chuck said, I will get out there and kick ass and take names, and I will do it all in the name of love. But I'm going to do this, and I need all of your help to do it. And I know I have all of your support and all that. So now I'm asking for whatever contacts you have in whatever areas of your life that you have, whether it be, with Ford or car companies. And hey, I want Ford, but if another one steps up and they have a decent truck that they can offer me, then I'll do that too, and we can do commercials. Because man, what commercials those would be. And or whether it's investing in this one-woman show, giving me venues, around the country where I can do it. You'll be glad you did. Just so be a part of this. Become a tangible, practical part of my odyssey of love. You're all a part of it anyways. And now let's step it up. Let's step up the game. Help me step up the game, because by God, I'm going to do it. So come with me, all right? And I'm going to go through and I'll read all the comments again. I've tried to keep up with them. And as you've come on here, and I thank you all, every one of you, for every step along the way, every word that you've given me, and the doors that you've opened to me in your homes, and the keys that you've given me so I have a place to rest, and the love, and holding me when I cry, and cheering me on, every damn bit of it. If you've gone through a death, then you know what that means. And this is the next phase. This is the next part of my Odyssey of Love. So jump on there with me and let me know what connections you have, and help me make this next step happen. This Odyssey of Love, and this one-woman show about love and grief and magic on the open road. Let's make it happen, all right? And I will be checking in with all of you again. And thank you so much for taking time out of your afternoon to listen in with me. Share it every damn place you can. You know, get it to, I don't know, get it to your senators and congressmen. Don't really, because, you know, whatever with them. But get it to the people who matter, all right? I love every bit of you, and I'll check in with you again soon. Ti amo.